Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Julie Bulteau. I'm an associate professor in environmental and transportation economics at the University of Versailles, Saint-Quentin. Maybe before starting the presentation, I would like to thank the organizer of the event and the French Ministry of Ecological Transition for offering to participate in this event. And I thank too my Russian colleagues for their participation. So, this presentation concerns an academic partnership between the France and the Russia. And to reminder, Transport, Health, Environment Pan-European Programme Academy has to support capacities of key stakeholders for integrated transport, health, environment, and spatial planning. So within this framework, France and Russia have implemented a partnership, and in particular, this university cooperation. So the outline is very simple. In the first time, we'll present you the current partnership with the French and Russian vision. In the second time, we'll have the chance to listen to Russian and French student feedback. And in the last part, we'll talk about the future of the cooperation. Okay? So, in past actions, we can highlight the first important step after some meetings between France and Russia is the signing of an agreement between a French university, the University of Versailles Saint-Quentin-en-Yvelines, and a Russian university, the Moscow Automobile and Road Construction University, MADI, and the Scientific and Research Institute of Motor Transport in June in 2017. It was in France at the University of Versailles Saint-Quentin, and the French Ministry of Ecological Transition was present. Here you can see some pictures. In a few words, this agreement identifies the areas of activity in which collaboration could take place, as exchange of teachers, exchange of students, organization of joint conferences, and the development of joint research activities focusing in particular on sustainable urban transport systems, transport planning, environmental protection, engineering, economics, logistics, transport, and health. And you can see the picture of the D-Day. The second important event was the Versailles International Summer School of Sustainable Mobility. The objective of the summer school, of course, open to the international community, was to provide to participants the knowledge, skills, and tools needed to understand the issues and challenges of integrated topics of climate change, mobility, and well-being.
Sorry.
Okay, so this is the agreement between MADI and the University of Versailles Saint-Quentin-en-Yvelines. And the second important step is Versailles International Summer School of Sustainable Mobility. And the objective of this summer school was to provide to participants the knowledge, skills, and tools needed to understand the issues and challenges of integrated topics of climate change, mobility, and well-being. And in order to achieve this, academic and institutional speakers came to share their knowledge. This summer school was fully part of the partnership between the University of Versailles Saint-Quentin and the MADI, the Moscow University, and the Scientific Research Institute of Motor Transport. And to honor this partnership, a Russian lecturer was invited all the week, and MADI students were able to participate. Maybe you can see my picture, I hope. And the last important point, it is our formation of a Master 2 degree, Sustainable Mobility, Transition and Society. And this Master 2 aims to cross the three main areas of mobility, well-being, and climate, and to understand how eco-innovation can meet the challenges posed by sustainable mobility. It also offers training in different methods of analysis and tools for project evaluation, such as economic evaluations methods, participatory approaches, and GIS. And this master is a labelized French Mobility, which is a label of French Ministry of Ecological Transition. In a few words, the content of the program is as follows. The first semester of the Master 2 is devoted to the acquisition of a theoretical and conceptual base and transversal skills through three teaching modules: Transition and Society, Economic Fundamentals on Environmental Law, and Analysis of Economic and Spatial Data, Survey Design, Economic Evaluation Method. And the second semester is divided between a series of seminars entitled Major Challenges for Transition in English, and there is too an internship in a firm of institution. It can be conducted in France or abroad. And as part of partnership, as part of agreement between French university and Russian university, thanks to the Erasmus Plus program, we were able to welcome Russian students, 3 students in 2019 and 2 students in 2020. And we welcome Russian lecturers, Vadim, Donchenko, and Professor Yuri Trofimenko. And now I'm going to let my Russian colleagues for their vision of cooperation, if you are ready.
Thank you, Julie. I will try to present my slides also, but
it's not easy.
Not easy, yes. So very shortly, I also would like to speak about the history of this initiative and the progress achieved. Partly Julie talked about this. The idea of this new instrument for the program, the PEP program. You know, PEP is Pan-European Program on Transport, Health, Environment. And in April 2014 in Paris, there was firstly discussed the initiative to create a new instrument of the program, the instrument, the PEP Academy, which which has to be realized in the framework of a French-Russian partnership on integration, transport, health, environment, and spatial planning. The importance of creating this mechanism was connected with the obvious need of personal training in the field of transport planning, sustainable transport planning, and also with the need to exchange best practice in this field. Because this was the initiative of two countries, France and Russia, and the first project was initiated by two universities, as Julie told before, by Versailles University and Moscow Automobile and Road Construction Technical University. In the framework of this initiative in Russia, MADI and NIIAT create a joint department, Sustainable Urban Transport, which began to organize training on this topic. And this joint department became the partner, practically became the partner of the UVSQ, Versailles University. And this is our photos in Moscow at the beginning of 2017 when we firstly meet and discussed the possible program and possible ways of our cooperation in future. Then there was signing. Julie told about this in June of 2017. We signed agreement between Russian organizations and French university in Versailles, and this was the beginning of our cooperation. The first idea was to begin this cooperation on the basis of existing training programs. In MADI, this is a program, Technospheric Security, and in Versailles University, this is Eco-Innovation, Sustainable Mobility and Security training program. And of course, the great assistance in the practical realization of this project was created by the special funds allocated to Versailles University as a part of Tempus Plus program on implementation of the principles of academic mobility for the organization of students and teachers exchange. There was exchange of our students, 3 students in 2019, and two students in 2020. Russian students was studied in Versailles, completed and defined the final works. And in 2020, Russian and French students begin to realize the joint project. But unfortunately, this good experience, first experience in cooperative preparation of project was stopped by pandemic, COVID pandemic. And of course, we hope very much on continuation of this practice. Of course, it was very interesting and important for Russian teachers to present their lectures in Versailles University. It was in November 2019. I think this is a common description from our side, and of course it's a little bit supplemented those facts which was presented by Julie. And I think we can give a floor to our students to say about their impressions, their experience in this education. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. So now it's Pauline. Okay. I try to share my screen. Okay. It's okay. You can see my.
So hello everyone. I was a student who took part in this exchange. I don't know if it's if there any Russian student who wants to talk first, or is that just me?
First.
Okay. So with the Russian exchange, we started to make a big report based on the city of Moscow. So we had to answer a problem which was to define a scenario for 2013 for this city, and with mixing the problematic of transportation activity and natural protected territories. So in this report, we worked with Yulia and Anastasia for 2 months, making research and trying to answer this main topic. We had to divide this program in 3 parts, defining the main criteria of the city of Moscow in several aspects, like economics field, which were the measures of environment who were considered, and we had to compare the city in a city model, which is called the GDF scenario. We studied last year in our program. It was mainly about defining criteria and found out in which criteria this city matched the most. And in the second part, we had to we studied the specially protected natural territories, and we tried to consider how transportation is considered near these protected natural territories. And in the final part, we studied the example of the national park Elk Island, which is a very, very big park in the city of Moscow. And we studied on that part the measures and the features of transport and how they are considered, and how environment measures and transport are considered around this park. And that was the main work we've done for the 2 months, and we had a presentation at the end of these 2 months, and a report if you want to check it. So it was a pleasure to collaborate with the Russian students and to find out another way with another culture. And I wish I could go to Russia, but it was impossible with the sanitary measures. And but still, it was great to work with a student from abroad.
Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe now we listen to Boris.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will try to show our presentation if it's possible.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, is it? Can you see something?
Yes.
And even the presentation change? The slides are changes?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay, first of all, hello to everybody. I would like to tell more about how it was for Russian students for this that was like 2 groups of Russian students in 2019 and 2020 who came to France. I was in the first group, and the second one person who called Yulia was in second, and we cooperate our presentations, and I will tell you about about all of us. First of all, we have to fill a huge forms in different sites from French government. We even have to notarize all diplomas of our education and uploaded them to the French sites. After that, we waiting for verification. The longest verification from Versailles took us about 2 months, and we already give this one paper only in France when we were in France. After that was a cruise, I think cruise, something like that in French. That was a platform where we can choose accommodation and I'm sorry. Yeah. Where we can choose a place to stay in France. there was like one problem there that everyone from Cruz wrote us letters only in French, no in English. That was a problem for us because no one of us can tell and read in French. But we choose a placement to stay. For us, we are staying in René-Cassin. And for the second group, they stand in Aurélie. I don't know how it's called in French, if real. After arrival, we have a strange problem because we don't get accommodation to meet the people from Cruz who will check in us in René-Cassin, and that's why we're waiting for the 5 hours to check in. But for our second group who came there in 2020s, they have got no problems with our experience. We just arrived and get in. That was very good for them. The next day after our arrival, we have a meeting with management of the University of UVSQ. They were very friendly for us and give us like student cards, asking our questions and trying to help with our problems. Also, I would like to say some words about the students who were our curators there. They were our friends there because they help us, they show us everything there, and especially thanks for Aisa, who really helps all our groups to stay in France and even tell us how Paris Underground works, because it's different from our. A few words about scholarship. At the first week, French university give us some cash for dailies, but after that we need to take a card, bank cards for take a IBAN, because scholarship need to placement on bank cards. And that was also a problem because no one in French banks speaking in English. But we make our cards with our French curators. No, not French, it's from our curators from the university. Through the study, we are teaching different subjects, but most of them all of them were in English, and many things, it's many different from Russia. It's like a oral presentation collective. Even in English, if there were a task, they give us a presentation for some item, and we need to prepare it and to make it together. That was very interesting for us because in Russia we have not got like this, where you have your theme and you need to prepare it by your own and to work together. That was really good. Yeah, there are some disciplines that we're studying there: environmental economics, communication tool, that was English, challenges for innovation, and geopolitical economical issues. Because Pauline has already told us about project that they have finished, I will be short here. I will say that we have prepared, my group of 2019 was preparing only 2 parts because we're staying there not so long, but that was like a huge project. So we have 2 oral presentations there, and preparing a project about the criteria of Moscow. That scenario will the best for Moscow. Here you can see several criteria for our scenario. Two groups of our students from 2019s and 2020s choose the self-city scenario for the Moscow. This is our title of our presentation in UVSQ. Here you can see photos and our preparation. I hope we were good in our presentation, and the commission who judging there was succeed to hear us and to look our presentation. Here you can see some slides of our project. Because it's like a feedback of our staying there. That was a great opportunity for us to travel for the France. Even we have got a project, we are preparing it, we have many times to work, but also we have some time to travel about all around the France to see more interesting places there. This is a photo of our second group. Also, while we were there, Julie Bulteau make us some excursions to autonomous automobile, I don't know, shuttle. There we can look on the cars who are riding without driver, but unfortunately we could not see it by our own, just to see them how they are standing, not to drive inside, to sit inside while they are driving. And the second one was observatory of UVSQ. There they show us what exactly UVSQ is doing. Some Arctic searches. That was very interesting. Here you can see photos of our excursions. The second group, as Vadim told already, returned to Russia after only 2 months because of COVID. But as I know, they studied in distance way, like to using it. And for the conclusion, it was a pleasure to be in France. At the end of project, we have new friends there. We have a new knowledge. We have opportunity to see University of Versailles, to improve our languages, and to see the France, to visit Paris. That was very great. And thank you for your attention. And thank you to opportunity to go to France. The final result of our presentation was like a certificate of the PEP Academy that give to Yulia. Here you can see on the photo by the director of MADI, Professor Keller. That's all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Boris.
Thank you very much, Boris.
And no, it's the future of a partnership, and maybe my Russian colleague can begin.
I will start. Yes, thank you, colleagues. So, what is the future of the PEP Academy? It's Russian vision, and we are ready to discuss it. First of all, I would like to say that in the Vienna Declaration, which we hope very much will be adopted on the next week, there is some formulation of decision of ministers decide to intensify the activities of the PEP Academy by fostering interaction between scientists, practitioners, and policymakers, inviting universities and other education institutions to contribute to the academy, recommending the introduction of courses addressing transport, health, and the environment, and spatial and urban planning issues in an integrated way, considering measures to provide budgetary support for students' education in the relevant academic programs, and requesting the steering committee to develop a procedure for awarding certificate to graduate the PEP Academy. I think it's very important position for continuation of our activity in the framework of academia, and I hope very much that this position will work in future. So some words why we speak about a new program, a new training program, which finally we need to develop. At the moment, there are many training programs on transport systems planning, but we need to realize new training courses which will be oriented on the PEP ideas and new approaches which are declared by the PEP. Which will give priority to public transport and active mobility, mobility management, accessibility management, and replacing mobility with the use of digital technologies. And of course, there is a new challenge of which is in front of us, this COVID pandemic, which also require new approaches to transport planning, to mobility. So this is very important, and this is the reason why we are speaking about a new approach to students' program forming. This program has to be focused on universal human goals, ensuring the quality of life, protecting the environment and health, reducing climate impact, and so on, and not only on solving transport problem in a poor form. Second point, this is a complex consideration of urban and transport planning, spatial planning and transport planning. Prioritizing accessibility over increasing mobility and ensuring the capacity of transport system, and priority of shared use of all modes of urban transport and active mobility. This is the main features which will be different from existing in many cases in our universities at the moment. And also this means that this new course on sustainable urban transport is very comprehensive in nature. It will be combine different disciplines, preventive medicine, ecology, sociology, urban studies, transport, economy, computer science, and digital technologies. So this is universal approach to mobility consideration. And for us, it's very important that in our cooperation with our French colleagues, we have different approaches which we can combine in one. We have very strong experience of French colleagues in economy, in digital technologies, and strong features of Russian university is its technical orientation on transport. So it's very important to combine, and it's give a possibility to create a new course in future. And this is example of our program, which we realized between MADI and NIIAT. On the base of NIIAT, this is a new structure of new course on sustainable urban transport, which include basic part, obligatory part, and optional course. And you see there are many interesting and new questions like sustainable mobility, economy and management, environmental innovation in urban transport systems, assessment of transport safety and sustainability, monitoring of transport sustainability, road and environmental safety, and so on. So I think our final results, the results of our cooperation may be in cooperative preparing such program between our universities, which may be a model for future training of specialists in the framework of the PEP Academy, not only in our universities, but in other also. what are the follow-up activity, which how can we see it from Russian side? First of all, inclusion of activities of the PEP Academy in the PEP working plan for 2021-2025. We can include different initiatives of France, the Russian Federation, other interested countries. And of course, we need to work out different possibilities of financing the international training programs in proper authorities in European Union, in Russia, in other interested bodies. And of course, it's very important how we will finance further exchange of our students and our teachers. Development together with the PEP Secretariat, the form of certificate to graduate of the PEP Academy, formalization of the procedure of its issuance and recognition. We have some agreement with the Secretariat that we will do this, and it is reflected in the declaration also. But of course, we need further steps and to work with the PEP Secretariat to finalize this activity in future. Establishment of the International Methodological Center for Preparation of Programs and Training Courses in the areas of sustainable urban transport and mobility, transport and the environment, low carbon transport development, and so on. So this is our idea for discussion, but I think it will be very interesting to have such methodological center. A joint preparation of textbooks and teaching aids for relevant training courses. Also, I think it's very interesting, important, and we have many materials which may be used in Russian and in English also to prepare these textbooks. Inviting universities from other countries to work together within the framework of the PEP Academy. And organization and holding of joint conferences and seminars with the participation of universities, teachers, and students under the auspice of the PEP. This was common ideas on the PEP Academy. And what about the continuation of our collaboration between MADI and Versailles universities? Of course, continuation of mutual exchange of master degree students between our universities, including organizing of online training, preparation and delivering lectures, including online by leading professors of MADI and Versailles universities. Preparation on bilateral basis of decision on issuance and mutual recognition of master's degree within the framework of the PEP Academy. I think it may be not very close, but future which we need to think about. Involvement of Russian and French master degree students in the course of their practical training in real project realized by MADI, NIIAT, and Versailles University. Possible scientific projects, examples, what may be discussed, and this is area which are interested in Russia. Maybe it will be interesting for our French colleagues also. Assessment of impact on transport system and mobility of COVID pandemic, climate change, digitalization of society, implementation of electric and hydrogen technologies, sharing technologies, and so on. Development of new approaches to planning of urban environment and transport modeling aimed at increasing the accessibility of attraction objects and rationalizing mobility. Development of methods for monetizing the social and environmental effects of transport activity, its impact on climate change. Assessment of the impact of carbon tax, introduction on national transport systems of our states, and international transportation also. And of course, it's very important, I think, for the PEP as a whole, but also for our cooperation to try to invite other universities, our other interested bodies in our cooperative activities. I think it will be very useful to have different approaches, different knowledge which may be included in our cooperation. I would like to mention in the conclusion of my presentation that it's very important that we try to look at new approaches to consideration of transport systems, urban transport systems, because traditional approaches to urban transport planning in many cases proved inefficiently effective. COVID pandemic showed us, in particular, the situation which create in transport sphere. This situation showed that it's not so important how quick we will reach some places, but it's impossible in principle to reach those places. And in many cases, we have now some replacement of our needs, transport needs, by new technologies, new digital technologies, new virtual possibilities. And in this case, we now see the new transport systems in future. So our activity is very important, and it's very important to prepare our students to live in this new reality. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vadim.
Patrick, you can
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm going to
finish the presentation.
Finish the presentations. Yes, the time is rather short, but I'm going to go along the path initiated by Vadim about the future of our collaboration. I don't know, Julie, if you can share the 3 slides.
Yes, it's
oh yes, this is
okay?
this is the point. Yes, yes, this is the first one. Yes. Well, I will now present some perspectives of our collaboration concerning sustainable mobility, health, and the environment. Firstly, I will talk about the roadmap and the associated different stages. And then I will present our reflections on the content of the partnership and the way in which we could deepen our collaboration in the future. And finally, I will present an institutional context in which this partnership can develop in the future. Well, about the first slide you have here, and the roadmap. Well, the convention we have between Russia and France has been defined with reference to both the main goals of the partnership, which have been reminded by both Julie and Vadim, and a specific roadmap. And in this respect, the partnership can be considered as a process involving 3 main steps. These steps mainly focus on the way we can share our experiences in terms of training and research, while respecting the contents of the PEP program. As you can see, the first step is all about identifying the potential complementarities between Russia and France with respect to the associated key research topics such as urban transport, and more globally, as Vadim told us, urban mobility, the natural environment, and more globally, climate change, and human health, and more globally, I would say, the quality of life. In this respect, we do need to address definitions and interpretations of some key concepts, such as accessibility, safety and security, efficiency and sustainability. As a first step, we propose to share some teaching modules between Russia and France on the basis of 2 current masters and their corresponding teaching modules. proximities and potential complementarities have been defined. The second step is all about building, and this is the future, building a common or joint, dual or bi-diploma between the two partners on the basis of these existing masters, but would focus on the previously quoted 3 topics. This proposal involves some technical, important technical issues, and we know that, and the definition of a proper scheme in terms of language, distance learning, equivalencies, fees also. And maybe we can plan the opening of this master for the academic year of 2023, for example. And the third step refers to the PEP Academy labeling process of this master. What is important there, and please, Julie, if you can go to the following slide.
Yes?
Yes.
It's okay?
It should be okay.
You see the...
This is yeah, about the roadmap, and this roadmap is based on the reflection on the way in which we wish to work together and the content of the partnership. It should be the right, yes, the right slide. The content of the partnership. In this regard, our reflection focuses on interdisciplinarity and how we can develop cross-cutting actions around the joint issues of mobility, health, and the environment. And interdisciplinarity here is mainly thought through what we can call the mediation of knowledge at different levels of scales. The first level of knowledge mediation is all about promoting interdisciplinarity in research activities and collective expertise. This mediation refers to the relation between researchers within the scientific community, and it is a matter of facilitating exchanges between scientists belonging to different fields of research in order to encourage joint work on cross-cutting topics. Interdisciplinarity is defined with respect to integrative research and collective expertise. In effect, beside the organization of interdisciplinary workshops, the partnership will be based on a cross-cutting action scheme in order to integrate different fields in our collective training and research projects. The second level of knowledge mediation is all about proposing mechanisms for the co-design of innovative solutions with all stakeholders, I would say, civil society, socioeconomic partners, sectors, in order to meet the current societal challenges. This second level of mediation concerns the relation between the scientific community and the society. The aim here is to help make scientific knowledge more readable with regard to major societal issues, but it is also for scientists a matter of being in contact with and to listen to the expectations from the society. Clearly here, causality must be circular between that society and the scientific community. And the third level of knowledge mediation, which is very important for us, is all about developing skills acquisition systems with transversal vocation to reinforce adaptability and employability on the different labor markets. And this third level of mediation should be defined with respect to jobs, which must now combine the technical and advisory dimensions, both downstream and upstream. This reflection relates to the dynamics of transformation we can observe concerning jobs, which must now integrate current societal issues. And it is a reflection that is fully in line with the corporate social responsibility approaches, which refer explicitly to sustainable development. In this respect, the partnership will propose for students co-working schemes crossing different formations, which means that students from different diplomas will work together on a project mode around transport and mobility related topics. Well, the last slide, Julie, please.
Yes.
This reflection about the mediation of knowledge within that partnership will take place in a particularly favorable institutional context. And this is the University of Paris-Saclay, where an Institute for Sustainable Energy will soon be created. The aim of the Institute is to design, study, and develop innovative solutions for clean or green energy by integrating the socio-economic and legal aspects of the current energy transition. This interdisciplinary institute will be based on the graduate schools of the University of Paris-Saclay and will bring together, through structuring actions, more than 30 research centers representing approximately 300 researchers and lecturers and 9 institutions, the University of Paris-Saclay. The strategy and structuring actions carried out by this institute will focus on first research, of course, by promoting and federating leading research teams with recognized expertise in their field, building and expanding partnerships with academic and socio-economic actors, responding to national and international calls for proposals. The second pillar of this institute will be innovation, encouraging entrepreneurship and the creation of startups, promoting meetings between students, researchers, industrials, and other actors through the organization of workshops and congresses. And the third pillar, and the last one, is about training, of course, providing a reflection on these jobs of tomorrow, which is very important, proposing new university diploma on the mobility, health, environment nexus, implementing a graduate program in the field of these topics, emphasizing training in and through research on key technologies for the current energy transition, and developing, at last, innovative teaching activities, such as project-based teaching, massive open online courses, for example. Clearly, this institutional context will be a very important opportunity for our partnership to expand and deepen through an extended network of actors and activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay. So it's time to go, or you have the time
extra time to go.
Some question, some comments.
No, not question. I think it's comments. It's very interesting vision of our future from Patrick. Very interesting information about the new Institute on Clean Energy. I think it's a good perspective for our cooperation. And of course, I fully agree. I think you also will agree with you that it's a very good idea to make emphasis on teamwork and involve different students, students with different specialization in such teams to make it's fully in line with I told before. So it's
of course, yes.
Yeah, we form some comprehensive new discipline which will include different approach programs. So I fully agree and fully support you. And I would like to thank our French colleagues for initiative to make this site event. First of all, I think it's very good initiative, and we had very good discussion. And for me, it was very interesting. And I think we have a common vision of our perspective. So now we are waiting for finalizing this difficult time with COVID, and
yes.
in other case, we need to continue online,
yes.
our discussion online.
Thanks to technologies, in fact.
Yeah, exactly. So, thank you very much for
thank
me.
You.
So,
thank you very much also. Thank you for this very stimulating event, in fact. Plenty of ideas and very interesting perspectives. And the sharing of experiences from the students from Russia and France was very interesting.
Yes.
Very good.
Maybe Yuri will say something, I will translate. Yuri, может быть, я переведу, скажи что-то.
Большое спасибо. Здесь вот сидят студенты, которые, надеюсь, подхватят эту эстафету для того, чтобы дальше нам сотрудничество развивать.
There are Russian students around me which will take this estafette from us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So hope to see you in near future.
Very soon, yes.
Yeah, well, to see French students here.
Yes, of course, yes, also, yes. We do.
Да, до встречи в Москве, да.
See you in Moscow. Next time, Moscow. Yeah.
Yes, we do hope so.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.